Today's video, this is another B1 lesson, grammar lesson, B1 level grammar lesson, and we're continuing our discussion of past continuous. So first, let's match the pictures to the sentences. She was working yesterday, would be picture C. Were you reading that book last week? Would be picture B. And Gavin and Peter weren't camping at the weekend, picture A. So the basic sentence structure of the past continuous is the subject plus was or were plus the ing verb. I was playing, you were reading, he was painting, she was watching, it was snowing, we were talking, they were sleeping. The negative form contractions. So I was not or wasn't playing, you were not or you weren't opening, he was not or wasn't growing, she was not or wasn't biking, it was not or wasn't raining, we were not or weren't sending, and they were not or weren't writing. Now choose the positive or negative form of the verb, place it in past continuous. Try those on your own, and then you can restart when you're ready to check your answers. So the dogs were barking at the cat. The children weren't listening to their teacher, so the teacher got angry. Oliver wasn't studying for his exam, he was playing computer games. And Tobias was learning sign language last year. Now here are some more pictures to match with the sentences. Was he speaking with his teacher? That would be picture C. Were they playing computer games? Picture A. And were Will and Darcy studying at university? Picture B. Now the past continuous question form would be was or were plus the subject plus the ing verb and then the rest of the sentence. Was I playing last week? Were you reading at 8 p.m.? Was he painting a picture? Was she watching a movie? Was it jumping in the garden? Were we talking to your mom? Were they laughing at my joke? Now this time, go ahead and try to make questions. The first one's already done for you. Were you listening to music? Go ahead and try the rest of these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So were Andrew and Leon swimming at the pool last weekend? Were they watching that new adventure film? And was she exercising at the park or in the gym? Now put these words into the correct order to make questions. The first one is already done for you. Were you talking to your sister on the phone? Go ahead and try the rest of these on your own, and then you can restart when you're ready to check your answers. So number 10 would be, was Helen playing hockey last weekend? Were you waiting at the bank for a long time? Was Andrea learning German last year? And was it raining in Bogota last week? Now you'll change these sentences into questions. The first one was already done. They were spending the weekend at their cottage becomes were they spending the weekend at their cottage? Go ahead and try the others on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay. Was Henry working in a factory? Were you doing a Japanese cooking class? Were they spending summer in the south of Turkey? And were Emma and Kate preparing a report? Now match these pictures to the sentences. These are where questions. Where were you living in 2012? That's picture A. Where was Paul studying last year? Picture C. And where were they going yesterday afternoon? Picture B. Now here are some what questions. What was Karen wearing yesterday? That's picture A. What was Brian listening to last week? That would be picture B. And what were you watching last night? Picture C. Why? Why were you taking the bus to New York? It's picture A. Why was she buying a new car? Picture C. And why were we waiting in that queue so long? Picture B. And now when questions. When were you working in the office? Picture A. When were they going to leave? It's picture B. And when was Patricia moving house? Picture C. So the past continuous with question words, the question word, the was or were, the subject, the ing verb, and then the rest of the sentence. So where was I playing last week? What were you reading at 8 p.m.? Where was he painting a picture? Why was he painting a picture? Um, when was she watching a movie? Or why was she watching a movie? Where was she watching a movie? Um, where was it snowing so heavily? Um, why were we leaving at 5 p.m.? And why were they sitting at home? Maybe some of the possibilities. All right, now you're going to make some where questions. Again, the first one is done for you. Where were they staying in Prague? And now you can try the rest of these on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So where was Clive living last year? So where were you taking your friend last week? Or it could be where was your friend taking you last week? Either one of those would be correct. Where were they meeting us? And where was he eating yesterday afternoon? Now, the what questions. So the first one is done for you. What were you doing? Then what were they looking at? What were Jane and Michael studying at university? What was he carrying in his hand? And what was that man reading on the train? All right, so now make some past continuous questions. Your friend calls you. He saw two famous people, so ask him questions about them. So you say hello, and Gerardo says, "Hi, it's Gerardo. Yesterday I saw those two famous movie stars from the new comedy. Wow, what were they doing?" "They were eating pizza in a restaurant called Pizza Navona." "And what were they eating?" The woman was eating pasta and the man was eating a salad. "So what were they drinking?" "Both of them were drinking mineral water." Hmm, let's see. What were they wearing? I can't remember. I'm not very interested in fashion. Let's see. Oh, but what were they talking about? I don't know. There was too much noise in the piazza, but the people next to me were gossiping about them. Oh, what were they saying? They said that their new film was terrible. Well, I really liked it. All right, so remember that we can use the past continuous to describe an activity that was unfinished or interrupted by another action in the past. What happened? How did you break your arm? I was skiing, I fell down hard. So you can say that using the past continuous in two different ways. While I was skiing, I fell down hard, or I fell down hard while I was skiing. Both A and B are possible, but B is the more common in spoken English. Now try to make some sentences using while. So while he was running, he fell over. While she was driving, she hit a tree. While he was riding a bike, he slipped. And while she was cleaning the kitchen, she dropped a glass. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.